Hello. I was just looking to see, did I press the record button? Is everything good? And yes, so here we are. These recordings, these messages are really a beautiful reminder along your journey to help you with and support you with basically your highest desire and how you live every day. What do I mean by that? How you live every day is really a relationship to where your attention is and how present and how conscious you're being. And it's not hard at all, really. What I love, love, love about what we're practicing is the growth of realizing what truth is, what conditioning is, what reactions are, and how we all have the ability and the freedom to see them as not this identity or this locked in who I am. This is who I am. I am this person. I don't want to be this person, but I am this person. I don't want to be angry and reactive, but I am. And what I love about the journey that we're all on is recognizing that you have this ongoing ability to choose, this ongoing ability to make a choice, to change, to evolve, to grow, to see things differently, to see things from a wider picture, to become happy with who you're being rather than judgmental. I mean, you can be curious and laugh at yourself as you change. So, maybe I realize that I've been really kind of spiky and reactive today, but instead of getting the whip out and being so judgmental towards myself or hateful towards myself, people can be, is to laugh at it and realize, oh my gosh, I don't need to be like that. And what I love about that is that we're giving ourselves permission to stumble and fall. We're giving ourselves permission to recognize there's maybe qualities that we can change, that we don't want to be, that we don't like, that we don't need. And so it's not actually a judgment as sense. It's more of a constant realization that, hey, it happened, but let's play and see where life takes us now with the desire to be kind, with the desire to love, with the desire to be present and enjoy. Now, there's so much talk about being present, and of course, it's very much a part of what this teaching is too. And the question is why? Why do we keep going on, harping on with the same, words and ideas? And it really is because to become present allows us to see things differently. To be present allows us to see our reactions, our emotions, our thought patterns. And when we see them, we suddenly realize that they are just that. They are just emotions. They are just thought patterns. They are just unconscious programming. And it's not you. That is so important because when you realize it's not you, there's now freedom for you to explore the emotions, to look at them objectively and choose to be that or not to be that, to realize the emotions are there. They're not taking you somewhere you don't want to be. I'm always angry is not actually true. I'm always sad is not actually true. I am me, and then perhaps I've been caught up in a lot of sadness because of circumstances. Or I am me, and now I can see that the anger is something I can choose to be or not to be. I can change that. So now you have the freedom to realize that objectively there's emotions. Objectively, there could be reaction patterns because that's how you've been for many years, but you can change that. That's not who you are. Objectively, there's this roller coaster or this automaticness or this fastness or this lack of listening, or there's interrupting because of patterns, because of who you've been unconsciously. So now you become more present, you play with being more conscious, and those things can shift. That's freedom. Us growing, us evolving, us being freed from these things allows us to see life completely differently. It allows us to see ourselves completely differently, which means we're not locked into this one idea. I am this and this is who I am. No, maybe if that's who you want to be, but if that's not who you want to be, then there's a bigger picture waiting for you to explore. This thing called being conscious, being present. And with the tools of praise, gratitude, and love, we invite this love, this pure beauty of existing right now into our lives. We invite it so that we can actually rest into it for ourselves and live it. Not something in a pipe dream that only other people can have, but something that I can have, that I live, that I have the ability to play with right now, and to use that as my new foundation to step out into my life. You have the ability to explore what is life like when we're not controlled with the thinking, the patterns, the emotions, the concepts. Who are you when you're not being dragged around by these ideas? That's simply ideas. And when you step back from them and realize that that's all they are, is a thought, how did it manage to hold you and grip you for so long? And it doesn't matter why it got put into place in the first place, because it did. But the most beautiful thing is that you have the ability to be freed from it. And we play this over and over again as we learn how to be freed from it. And how that kind of like unraveling of who we think we are and the automatic judgments or reactions can fall away as we realize that that's not necessary. And what is there, what remains when that falls away. And the magic is in that. It's not just, I can see these thoughts and I now know I don't have to think them. The magic is actually in what remains when you see that that's not who you are. Who are you? What is life like? Completely uncamouflaged. What is life like? To be resting in this moment and present. Why? Why is it such a big deal? What is it like for you? This eternal peace, this eternal calm, this eternal contentment. Sounds pretty big, eternal. So, what does it mean to you? And that is the joy of this practice. To have this ongoing experiencing of life in a way that's filled with contentment. Instead of driven from lack or fighting and struggling with chaos and worry and fear, this experiencing of now with contentment and surety, surety, the sure, what's the word? Sureness. Certainty, the certainty that everything is in its place perfectly. And that in itself eliminates fear. Fear doesn't exist in the certainty of perfection right now. I'm so glad I found that word. I was like, sureness. I know what I'm trying to say here. Certainty, this calm, this contentment, this beauty of falling into life now without a struggle. It's like everything just slows down and is in its perfect place. It's in its divine placement, and we don't need to fight it. Every day lived by that means that every day's this beautiful adventure of living life. It's not hard. It's not a struggle. It's just pureness. So the game is to play, to explore, to see this for yourself, to see where the mind or the emotions or anything is more important and what it does to you. Do you feel calm and imperfection when the mind's really, really busy? Or do you feel like it's loaded, your life is loaded with chaos and um toing and froing, like that inability to be clear? What is it like for you to actually play with being present? And what happens? What is there for you? And that's the game, that's the exploration. And soon we'll be able to talk about that. What is it like? Until next time. See you soon.